I just would like to first welcome Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, our Director Commercial, sir, and the people from Power Grid, our own guests from our own family member from Ntpc, our executive trainees. I'll just give a brief introduction about, though he doesn't need any introduction, so any introduction will be showing the light to the sun, but still, I would like to carry on. Dr. Goldsmith was recently chosen as the inaugural winner of the Lifetime Award for Leadership by Harvard Institute of Coaching. He is the only two-time Thinker 50. He is #1 leadership thinker in the world today, and he has been ranked as the world's #1 executive coach and top 10 business thinkers in the past 8 years. So glorious track record, sir. Dr. Goldsmith is the author or editor of 38 books, which have sold over 2.5 million copies and has been translated into 32 languages and become listed bestseller in 12 countries. Amazon.com recently recognized their 100 best leadership and success books. His books, Triggers and What Got You Here Won't Get You There, were both recognized as being the top 100 books ever written in their field. Marshall is one of the only 2 authors with 2 books on the list. His other listed bestsellers include Mojo, Succession, Are You Ready? And The Leader of the Future. I won't take to read much more longer list because I would like to invite Dr. Marshall Goldsmith. I would also like to invite our Director of Commercial, Shri Eka Gupta. I will request Shri Gupta sir to kindly hand over a bouquet. And then to traditional Indian thing, the shawl.
Well, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Marshall. I'm from a small town called Valley Station, Kentucky. I went to school at a little engineering school, Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. How many of you are engineers? Raise your hand, you engineers. Very good. A little engineer joke. Engineer joke for India, you ready? How do you know the engineer from Iit is smart? How do you know this? You know the answer? You hang around them 5 minutes and they tell you many times. So I got a master's degree in business from Indiana University and a PhD at UCLA. I was a college professor when I was very, very young. Then for the past 41 years, I've done 3 things. One is, like today, I give talks or teach classes. Now, I love speaking and teaching. I love speaking and teaching. This is the fun part of my job. The second thing I do, which I'm most famous for, is I'm an executive coach. I've been the coach of the CEO Ford and Pfizer and Glaxo and the World Bank and the Mayo Clinic and many, many, many wonderful people. What I love about coaching, though, is not what I teach them. What I love about coaching is what they teach me. I learn far more from the people I coach than they learn from me, so it's a wonderful opportunity. Then the third thing I do is I write and edit books and articles. So I have done now I'm up to 40 books, 3 big bestsellers. Many of my books were purchased only by my mother, my father, and relatives. But I have done many, many books. And now I'm adopting people. I went to a program called Design the Life You Love. In the program, the woman who ran the program said, who are your heroes? And my heroes were these very kind and generous people who are great teachers. She said, why don't you be more like them? I thought, what a nice idea. I should be more like them. I decided to adopt 15 people, teach them all I know for free, and the only price is when they get old, they have to do the same thing. I made a little selfie video and put it on LinkedIn. Do all of you know LinkedIn? Yes, I have 1.2 million followers on LinkedIn, so I have lots of LinkedIn followers. Right? So it turned out to be the most widely viewed video in the history of LinkedIn. Over 16,000 people applied to be adopted. So now I've adopted about 140 people, and we had over 2,500 applicants just from India. So I'm adopting another 25 just from India. So it's been a great, great fun project. We're going to be talking about developing ourselves, coaching our people, and building engagement. Now, a couple of points. One is I love getting emails. My email address, marshall@marshallgoldsmith.com. If you send me an email, I cannot promise to get back to you immediately. I will get back to you eventually. And then the next thing is my website, www.marshallgoldsmith.com. I give all my material away. You may copy, share, download, duplicate, use in your business, charity, use any of my material any way you wish. So I give it all away. Please feel free to use this any way that you wish. Now, what are we going to do today? Today we're going to practice something called Feed Forward. I love Feed Forward. This is a very positive, upbeat way to help yourself and other people get better. It's kind of the essence of my coaching. I'm going to share a proven leadership development model that you can use to develop yourself, coach people, and build teamwork. Then I'm going to talk about how something called daily questions you can use to increase your own effectiveness and build engagement. Everything I'm going to teach you today is going to be very easy to understand. Nothing I'm going to teach you today is easy to do. If you read my book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There, you read funny story after funny story after funny story. It's very tempting to read the book and think, these people must be fools. The people in the book, they all have IQs of 150, and they're all CEOs of multi-billion-dollar companies. And they will all tell you this stuff is very easy to understand, it's very hard to do. And in life, what's important is not understanding. In life, what's important is doing. Now, today is also going to be very active. And by the way, the people who are listening in, who are not in the room right now, but are listening in, I would like you, if you're in a group like this, to participate with everything. Now, let me ask you in the front here a question. Are you all trying to kind of break down barriers and create a more open environment here? Yes or no? Yes. They say yes. Yet they're all sitting in the front. This is bad. This needs to change. Now here's what's going to happen next. Everyone in the room is going to stand up. You're going to find one person you do not know. Those of you sitting way in the back are going to move a little forward. No, you sitting way back there. You're going to find one person you don't know, and you're going to sit next to that person for my time today. Stand up! Let's go! Up, up, up! Find one person you do not know. And by the way, come on down. Come on down a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on down closer to the front.
Yeah.
Let's go. Find someone you don't know. Okay, sit next to your partner. Now we are going to practice peer coaching. In peer coaching, you are not here to judge your partner. You are not here to critique your partner. You are not here to put your partner down. You're here to help your partner. I want you to shake hands with your partner and say, partner, my name is, I'm here to help. Go! Shake hands with your partner. Let's go. Partner, my name is, I'm here to help. Okay, let us begin. I was interviewed in the Harvard Business Review and asked a question. What is the #1 problem of all the successful people you have worked with over the years? What is their #1 problem? And yes, as I look into your young faces, I sense the problem in this very room. I feel many of you may be afflicted with this disease. What was my answer? Winning too much. Winning too much. What does that mean? If it is important, we want to win. If it is meaningful, we want to win. If it is critical, we want to win. If it is trivial, we want to win. If it is not worth it, we want to win anyway. Winners love winning. In the game of life, you're all winners. If you were not winners, you would not be invited to be in this room at this time. In the game of life, you're winners. It's very hard for winners not to constantly win. I'm now going to give you a case study of winning too much that almost all of my clients fail. And I will make a prediction. Almost all of you will fail this case study. And when I say fail, you will fail yourself. You will say what I did do is the opposite of what I know I should have done. Are we ready for case number one? You want to go to dinner at restaurant X. Your husband, wife, friend, or partner wants to go to dinner at restaurant Y. You have a heated argument. You go to restaurant Y. It was not your choice. The food tastes awful, and the service is terrible. Option A, critique the food. Point out our partner was wrong. This mistake could have been avoided had only you listened to me. Option B, shut up. Eat the stupid food. Try to enjoy it and have a nice evening. What would I do? What should I do? Almost all of my clients, what would I do? Critique the food. What should I do? Shut up. How many people in the room, please raise our hands, have ever critiqued the food before? Hands in the air. Come on, up. Yes, a room filled with food critiquers. Food critiquers. Smart or stupid? Very stupid. Stupid. And as stupid as that was, I'm going to give you an example now that is so stupid, it will make that one pale by comparison. And I will predict at least half of you have done this. Are we ready for case two? You have a hard day at work, a hard day. You go home. Your husband, wife, friend, or partner is there. The other person says, I had such a hard day today. I had such a tough day. And what do we say? You had a hard day. You had a hard day. Do you have any idea what I had to put up with today? Do you think you had a hard day? We are so competitive, we have to prove we are more miserable than the people we live with. I gave this example to my class at the Dartmouth Tuck School of Business. A young man in the back raised his hand. He said, I did that last week. I asked him, what happened? He said, my wife looked at me. She said, honey, you just think you've had a hard day. It is not over. Now, I love getting emails. I got an email that is in my book, Triggers. If any of you would send me such an email after today, I would be very proud of today. A young man sent me an email and he said, I know you do not know me. I was in your class at Dartmouth 5 years ago. I just wanted to send you an email today and say thank you. He said, yesterday I was having a very hard day. I was under a lot of pressure, behind schedule. My wife called. And I was just getting ready, she was talking about what a hard day she was having. I was just getting ready to point out how her problems paled in significance to my own. He said, for some reason, I remembered your little course. I started breathing. I thought, this is my wife. This is someone I love. This is not the enemy. He wrote, I just said, I love you. Thank you for everything you've done for the family. He said, I went home, spent $25. I bought her some flowers. I gave her the flowers and said, I love you. He said, that was the best $25 I've ever spent. Thank you. Well, the next time you feel a need to win, and prove how smart you are, and prove how right you are, breathe and ask a question. What am I winning? What am I winning? Talk to your partner in 20 seconds to answer this question. When is one time in the past you had a need to win and prove that you were right, and you should not have been fighting the battle in the first place? Go, talk to each other. Talk to your partner. Talk. Okay, now we're going to have an exercise program. Are we ready? My exercise program is I'm going to walk around the room. Walk. Your exercise program is to turn. Hit those people in the front. Your exercise program is to turn so I never see the back of your head. Hit those three guys in the front. They help them out there. In the front. Get those fellows in the front. You need to turn. Run, people. Turn this way. Let's go. Turn around. Hit your friend there. Sir. Pay attention. You can sit. Now, my exercise program is to walk. I walk. You are to turn, you see. Therefore, I never see the back of your head. So everybody's going to get a little, very good. Everybody gets a little exercise. I walk, you turn. Now, classic problem number 2 for smart, successful people, adding too much value. Adding too much value. What does that mean? I'm young, smart, enthusiastic, you're my boss. I come to you with an idea. You think it's a great idea. Rather than just saying great idea, our natural tendency is to say, that's a nice idea. Why don't you add this to it? The problem is the quality of the idea may go up 5%. My commitment to execute this idea may go down 50%. It's no longer my idea, boss. Now it's your idea. Effectiveness of execution is a function of A, what is the quality of the idea, times B, what is my commitment to make it work. We can get so wrapped up trying to improve the quality this much, we damage the commitment that much. Now, one group has the biggest problem with adding too much value. What occupational group is this? Engineers. Do I have any electrical engineers in the room? Even worse. Electrical engineers, even worse. Stand up, sir. Electrical engineer. Let's hear it for my good electrical engineer. Very good. What's your first name, sir?
Somnath.
Now, have you ever journeyed through life looking for logic and been constantly surprised because you don't find it? Has this happened to you before?
Yes.
Have you ever told your friends and family members that their comments were illogical? Have you done that before?
Sometimes.
And do they love you because of this, or do they love you because of this, or in spite of this? In spite of this also. Very hard for engineers not to constantly go through life looking for logic and being surprised because we don't find it. Adding value, big problem for engineers. Remember, don't get lost in logic at the expense of commitment. Sometimes we get so lost in logic we forget this commitment is very important. Adding too much value. One of my good coaching clients retired a few years ago. His name was J.P. Garnier, or is J.P. Garnier. J.P. is the CEO of a very large drug company called GlaxoSmithKline. GlaxoSmithKline. Have all of you heard of this company? A very big pharmaceutical company. I asked my friend JP, what did you learn about leadership as the CEO of this big company? And by the way, for all you nice young people in the room, I want you to remember this. Every time you get promoted in life, and every time you become more powerful, this lesson will become more real for you. He said, my suggestions become orders. My suggestions become orders. Now he said, if they are smart, they're orders. If they are stupid, they're orders. If I want them to be orders, they are orders. And if I do not want them to be orders, they're orders anyway. My suggestions become orders. I asked my friend JP, what did you learn from me when I was your executive coach? He said, you taught me one lesson that helped me be a better leader and have a happier life. I asked him, what was this lesson? He said, before I speak, breathe, and ask myself one question. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And as the CEO of this huge company, he said 50% of the time, if I had the discipline to stop and to breathe and to ask myself, is it worth it? What did I decide? Am I right? Maybe. Is it worth it? Now, for you young engineers in the room, an important thing to remember, for the great individual achiever, it's all about me. For the great leader, it's all about them. It's very difficult to make this transition from being a great individual achiever to a great leader. And are the people in this room good achievers, yes or no? Yes. That doesn't mean they're going to be good leaders. You have to let go of making it all about me and realize as a leader, I've got to stop making it all about me and start making it all about them. Very easy in theory, very difficult to do. Okay, next. Everyone look up here. I want you all to smile. Smile, smile, smile. I want everybody to take a deep breath and do your hand like this, and I want you to go, hand. I want you to think back to the last time you got angry and got into a heated argument with someone you loved, when you had a need to win and prove that they were wrong on a minor or insignificant point. Have any of us ever done that before? Was it worth it? Do any of you have teenage children? Any of you? Oh, many of you have teenage children. Have we ever attempted to prove the teenage child was wrong on a minor or insignificant point? Have we tried that, Daddy? How well did that work out? No. Win the big ones. All those little ones? Let go. More good news today. Everything I teach you today does not just apply at work. It all applies at home. And at the end of the day, the people at home are even more important than the people at work. If it's worth your while to try to be a better leader at work, a better engineer at work, how about a better friend, a better family member, a better father, even more important, a better husband, a better wife, even more important. I'm now going to give you 4 words that for almost all of us are going to help you be a better coach at work and a better family member at home. 4 words. What are these very 4 simple words? Help more, judge less. Help more, judge less. How many of us have friends and family members that might be happy if we help just a little more and we judge just a little less? And would any of them object to these changes? No. So very good to do at work, even better to do at home. Now, learning from a great leader. In my role as an executive coach, I have a very unique billing system. I do not get paid 1 cent if my clients don't get better. Better is not judged by me. Better is not judged by my client. Better is judged by everyone around my client. There's a great way to test if someone believes what they're saying. You can ask a person 1 question and instantly determine their level of belief. I've never seen the question fail. What is this simple question? Do you want to bet on it? Do you want to bet on it? Now, if they say, I believe it, I don't want to bet on it, what did you learn? They don't believe it. They say, here's the money. They believe it. I bet on this every time. When you get paid for results, you learn a little bit of humility. The client I coached that I spent the most amount of time with didn't improve at all, and I didn't get paid. The client I coached that I spent the least amount of time with improved more than anyone I've ever coached. 200 people got better, and I did get paid. This was a humbling lesson. For my fine engineers with a background in mathematics, I made a chart. On one dimension, it was called time spent with Coach Marshall Goldsmith. The other dimension was called improvement. There was a clear negative correlation between spending time with me and getting better. I thought, this is troubling. I went and talked to my client who improved the most, who I spent the least amount of time with. Who was, by the way, CEO of the Year in the United States in 2014, and was ranked in Fortune magazine the #3 greatest leader in the entire world. An amazing man. His name, Alan Mulally. Alan, also a great engineer, was the CEO of Ford. I talked to Alan. When he went to Ford, the stock was valued at $1.01. When he left, $18.40. He also had a 97% approval rating from every employee in a union company. Very hard to do. They love this guy. So I would go talk to my friend Alan. I said, Alan, of all the people I've coached, you improved the most. And I spent the least amount of time with you. I showed Alan my chart. I said, Alan, the way this troubling chart looks, had you never met me, you would really be good. I asked my friend Alan, what should I learn about coaching from you? He taught me 2 lessons, which I'm now going to share with you. If you learn nothing today but these 2 lessons, you're going to be a better coach and have a happier life. He said, lesson number 1, your biggest challenge as a coach is called customer selection. If you pick the right customer, your coaching process will always work. If you pick the wrong customer, your coaching process will never work. He said, number 2, never make the coaching process about yourself and your own ego and how smart you think you are. Make it about the great people you work with, how hard they work and how proud you are of them. Then he said, as Ford, my job was not different. I don't design the cars. I don't build the cars. I don't sell the cars. I have to have great people. Then he said, every day I would tell myself, leadership is not about me. Leadership is about them. You young engineers in the room, remember what I just said. Leadership is not about me. Leadership is about them. Now, why is all this so hard to do? In your life, you've taken test after test after test after test with one goal, to prove how smart you are. It's very hard to stop. It is very hard to stop doing this. And as you move into leadership, you have to stop doing this. It's not about how smart you are. It's not that you know more than people. It's not that you're better than people. Your job is to make them great, not to prove that you're great. Very easy in theory, by the way. Very difficult in practice. Now I have a question. Do you think this is a group of high character, ethics, and integrity? Yes or no? What do you think? High character, ethics, and integrity, this group. Yes. Very good. I'm going to test that right now. I'm going to test them right now. Are we ready? Including you. High character and integrity, yes or no? He says yes. I'm going to test that. The answer is yes. You must raise your hand. I'm going to ask the group a question. A troublesome question, a personal question, perhaps an embarrassing question. If the answer is yes, you must raise your hands. Are we ready? How many people in this very room are still stupidly attempting to change the behavior of a husband, wife, boyfriend, or girlfriend who has no interest in changing? Come on, hands in the air. Get these hands up. Come on, raise these hands. Tell the truth here. Oh, look at that guilty face. How many years have you been trying to change this poor partner?
Not just partner, but my children.
How long?
Like my daughter is now 20.
20. Now I have a second question. Even more troublesome, personal, or embarrassing. Are you ready? If the answer is yes, you must raise your hand. How many people in this very room, even more stupidly, are still attempting to change the behavior of mommy or daddy who has no interest in changing? Come on, look at all these hands. Yeah, mommy or daddy. Even in the front. Are you trying to change mommy, daddy, or both?
I want to change her eating habit. She is diabetic and she don't want to.
Mommy, right? I was teaching my class at Dartmouth. A woman raised her hand. I said, are you trying to change mommy or daddy? She said, daddy. I asked her, what is daddy's problem? She said, daddy does not have a healthy lifestyle. I asked her, how old is daddy? She said, 94 years old. Leave the old boy alone. If you want to smoke a cigar, old man, smoke two. Who cares? He's 94 years old. Well, a great learning point. When we deal with adults, if they do not care, as a coach, don't waste your time. How much of our lives are wasted trying to change people that have no interest in changing? And what is our return on this investment? And for yourself as a leader, as a coach, as a friend, as a partner, if you do not care, don't waste your time. If you're going to get better at anything, the motivation for your improvement must come from one and only one place. Where is that place? In your heart. If it doesn't come from in here, you won't do it anyway. Look at the people I coach. I cannot make these people change what they don't want to change. What am I supposed to do? Shoot them? Beat them up? Kill them? I cannot make them change what they do not want to change. I can help them change what they do want to change. I cannot make you change what you don't want to change. If you don't want to change something, you're not going to do it anyway. No one made me God this week. I'm not here to judge you. I can help you change what you do want to change. That's good enough. Let's just try to do that. Now, I'm going to have everybody in the room pick one behavioral change that will make a positive difference in your life. Not 30, not 50, not 100. How many? Just one. That if you get better at this one thing, it's going to help you be a better leader, maybe a better partner, friend, family member. Just one thing. And you're going to talk to your partner and say, good partner, here's one behavioral change that I believe will make a positive difference in my life. And good partner, here's why I believe this change will make a positive difference. Then the partner is going to say, well, you know, partner, here's one behavioral change that I think would make a positive difference in my life. And here's why I believe this change would make a positive difference. Now, if you haven't thought of anything yet, look up here. Who in the room, please raise your hand, is impatient? Who's impatient? Sir, back in the back, stand up. Yes, you, sir, stand up. What's your first name, sir?
Sir Rohit.
He is so impatient, he was the first one to raise his hand. Would your friends and family members be sad if you became more patient or happy? What do you think?
Happy.
They would be so happy. One night I had dinner with General Eric Shinseki. General Shinseki was head of the United States Army, 4-star general. We're in a room surrounded by 2 to 4-star generals. He said, Marshal, who is your favorite customer? I said, sir, my favorite customer, smart, dedicated, hardworking, driven to achieve, creative, entrepreneurial, cares about the company, customers, integrity, gets results. And is a stubborn, opinionated, know-it-all that never wants to be wrong. I said, sir, do you think any of the generals in this very room may fit such a description? He said, Marshal, we have a target-rich opportunity. Now let me ask you a question. How many of the fine young leaders in this room, how many of you all are just a little bit stubborn or opinionated? Let's raise our hand. Come on, hands up. Come on, let's go. We're stubborn. Yes, yes. And if we're stubborn and opinionated at work, do we become excessively open-minded when we go home? No, this doesn't get any better. No. So, the next one. Who needs to be a better listener? Raise your hand. Listener. Listen. Very good. Many of you want to be a better listener. Let's just take listening. If you become a better listener, what happens to your score in treating people with respect? Up or down? Up. Coaching? Up. Customer satisfaction? Up. Friend and family member? Up. See, the way you get better at everything is do not try to change everything. None of us are going to change everything anyway. Let's just pick one thing that's very important that comes from your heart. Get better at that. That's good enough. And that's probably related to many other things anyway. Now you're going to talk to your partner. You say, good partner, here's one behavioral change that I think is important for me, and here's why. And your partner says the same thing. You'll understand the rules. Okay, I forgot something. Look up here. I forgot something. If you cannot think of even one thing that you do need to improve, pick humility. To your marks, get set, talk to your partner, go. What do you want to get better at and why is it important? Talk to each other, talk. Okay, we are now going to practice something called feed forward. Feed forward. Now I love feed forward. A very positive, upbeat way to help yourself get better and other people get better. Feed forward. The essence of how I teach the stakeholder coaching. Feed forward. In feed forward, you're going to be in 2 roles. But before we do that, I'm going to do an exercise with you. I'm going to ask you questions. Do not reply until I go like this. When I go like this, if the answer is yes, I want you to say yes in a very loud voice. If the answer is no or you do not know, remain silent. When I go like this, if that answer is yes, you say yes. If the answer is no, you remain silent, okay? Look up here, do your hands like this, hand. Look at all the good faces, look around the room, look at all the good faces, any nice faces. Okay, look back up here, are we ready? Are there some smart people in this room? Yes! If you had a chance to learn from these smart people, would you like to do that? Yes! Are there some nice people in this room? Yes! If you had a chance to help these nice people, would you like to help them? Yes! You're either learning from these smart people, which is good, or helping these nice people, which is also good. Therefore, it is all good. Now, we're going to practice feed forward. You're going to be in two roles. Role number one is called learn as much as I can. Role two is called help as much as I can. What are the rules of feed forward? Rule number one is no feedback about the past. No feedback about the past. We spend too much time in our lives talking about the past. Have any of you been impressed with your wife, husband, or partner's near photographic memory of your previous sins, which have been documented and will be shared with us in a repetitive and annoying way? Well, you know what? We can't change the past anyway. Look up here, look around the room, look at all the nice faces. Look around the room. Look back up here. I want everyone to smile, smile, take a deep breath, and I want you to go, ah, ah. Rule number one, no feedback about the past. Rule two is harder. You cannot judge or critique ideas. Very hard for my engineers here. You cannot judge or critique ideas. People are going to give you ideas. You cannot say good idea, bad idea. I already knew that, that will never work. Whatever people tell you, you must stand there, shut up, listen, and all you can say back is, thank you. Now, I'm a Buddhist. This is a Buddhist exercise. Buddhists said, only do what I teach if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, it's okay. Just don't do it. When feed forward, you learn to ask for ideas. I listen to the ideas, and I treat the idea like a gift. Now, if he gives me a gift, should I say, stinky gift, bad gift, I don't like your gift? What should we say to the nice person who gives us a gift? Thank you. If you want to use the gift, use it. If you do not wish to use the gift, put it in the closet. If you already have this gift, repackage it and give it to your mother-in-law. Just say thank you. The women like that part the best. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. Now, how does this work? You're going to say, my name is, I want to get better at. Person's going to give you one or two very quick ideas for the future and no feedback about the past. What do you say back when they give you the idea? Thank you. What if they give you the dumbest idea in the world? What do you still say? Just say thank you. Now, my engineers in the room, is your danger under-analyzing or over-analyzing this exercise? It's not close. Do not over-analyze this exercise. Positive, simple, focused, and fast. Positive, simple, focused, and fast. And I'm going to provide free books for whoever has the most conversations in the next 4 minutes or so. You all understand the rules? Okay, got it? Do not start with your partner. Stand up! Talk to as many people as you can talk to in the next 4 minutes. To your marks, get set, go, 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 go!
मुझे लग रहा दूसरा चालू है कट तो नहीं किया ना कट मत करना बंद नहीं किया
Okay, keep standing. Keep standing. All right. How many of you talked to at least 3 people? Oh, good, very good. All right. How many of you talked to 5 or more? Oh, many of you. Anybody talk to 10 or more? My goodness. This is a very driven group here. 15, 20, 25? Wait a minute. 30? How many? How many? 30 plus. All right, anybody who talked to more than 35, let me know at the end. I'm going to give you all free books. Let's hear it for all these people that talked to more than 35. Very good. Now, you remain standing. Remain standing. I'm going to begin a sentence. I'm going to leave out the last word. You're going to think of a word. Don't say anything until I go like this. When I go like this, you will loudly shout out that word, whatever that word would happen to be in your mind. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
This little exercise was...
Wonderful!
Let's do it again. This little exercise was positive, useful, fun. People say nice words. I've done this exercise with hundreds of thousands of people around the world. People say great, positive, useful, helpful, or even fun. What's the last word you think to describe any feedback activity? Fun. Has anyone ever called you on the phone and said, I have some feedback I would like to share with you. Please come to my office. And you said, fun, fun, fun. Fun is the last word you think of. Yet no matter what country I'm in, 95% of the people say this is great, positive, useful, helpful, or even fun. The answer to this question will help you be a better coach and have a happier life. Why? Remain standing. Remain standing. Join a group with 3, 4, or 5 people. If there's 6, 2 groups of 3, go! 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Join a group. Let's go. Okay, 3, 4, or 5. Okay, stop. Stop. Shh, shh, shh. Raise your right hand in the air. Raise your right hand in the air. Right hand in the air. Hand. When I count to three, when I count to three, point to the spokesperson in your group. 1, 2, 3, point! Okay, stop. You now have 30 seconds. Come up with as many reasons as you can. Why do 95% of the people say the exercise is positive, useful, helpful, or even fun, no matter what country I'm in? Why? Talk to each other. Come up with reasons. Why?
ये पेंडिंग वेंडिंग मारते हैं ग्रुप में
Okay, stop. Shh. Who's the spokesperson here? Who's the leader? Okay, shh. Quiet. One reason, why?
We discussed that things which are telling, these are all very simple things, very little things. If we just look at ourselves, we can do it, but we never do it, we overlook it.
Okay, who's the spokesperson? Okay, why?
I think this is the first time when we're meeting in a place like this, and we normally see the speaker, we try to pick a lot of things from the speaker. I think now picking from your own counter members, I think that's a very chilled idea. I think that's the first point.
Okay, over here, who's the speaker? Who's the speaker? Okay.
All of us felt that it is brought about more openness, even among the strangers.
More openness, very good. Now, it's very interesting, a couple of points. One reason people like the exercise is no judging. No judging. If I would have allowed you to judge or critique each other's comments, you would have spent twice as much time debating the comments as listening to the comments. How much do I learn proving that you're wrong? Nothing. How much do I learn proving I'm right? Nothing. What percent of all communication time is wasted on that, according to the world? About 65. Cut that out. Life is much more positive and productive. One gentleman said, I listen better in this exercise than I almost ever listen in my life. Ask him why. He said, normally when others speak to me, I'm so busy composing my next comment to prove how smart I am. I'm not listening, I'm composing. He said, I could listen a lot better when I just had to say thank you. The irony, he had a Nobel Prize. A man with a Nobel Prize in a management class trying to prove he was smart. I said, you have one Nobel Prize. You might not win two. It's okay. You really don't have to prove you're smart anymore. One Nobel Prize, good enough, good enough. Well, a common misperception of, by the way, the other thing is two ways, not one way. You come to me and say, I want to get better at X, please help me. I say, I can get better too. Please help me. You see how different that feels? The one person going, you get better, you get better, you get better. I have nothing to improve, by the way. Let's just fix you. Very, very different. And finally, a common misperception of coaching is, I must be smarter than you or better than you to help you. Or you must be smarter than me or better than me to help me. Wrong. How many of you near the end of the exercise begin to feel a need to say to others in the room, I have your problem too. I have your problem too. I have your problem too. How different were everyone's problems? It doesn't matter what country I'm in. I just did this in Russia with 20,000 people at Moscow, Olympic Stadium, 20,000. It's all the same. Even though our cultures may be different, we're not that different in here. We don't have to be better than others to help others. Better off being a fellow human being, stumbling through life without clear answers to even small questions like, who am I? Where are we? What is going on here? That's all we are anyway. We're not little gods. We're just little confused people stumbling around. And did any of you near the end of the exercise begin to hear in the back of your mind a voice, a small voice, a tiny voice going, excuse me,
Excuse me, you know all of those good ideas you keep giving to the other people? Why don't you do any of them yourself?
Some of us heard that little voice. I don't have to be better than you to help you. Let's just be two humans that help each other. And finally, what do you say to all the good people in the room that just helped you? Thank you. Let's try again. What do you say to all the good people that just helped you? Thank you. Thank you, good people. And finally, a big round of applause for all the nice people that just helped you. Thank you. Okay, now, how can we use all of these good things to develop ourselves as leaders, as friends, as partners? First, get in the habit of doing something that in life we don't do enough. Get in the habit of asking a question. What is this question? How can I be a better? Not how can you be a better? How can I be a better? In life, we do not ask this question very much. How can I be a better? Now, we're going to practice that yes exercise again. Remember, don't say anything until I go like this. If the answer is yes, you say yes. Are we ready? In your fine organization, is customer satisfaction important? Yes. Should we ask our customers for their good ideas? Yes. Listen to our good customers. Yes. Learn from these good people. Yes. Do you have a husband, wife, or partner at home? Yes. Have you been spending a lot of time at home asking your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, or partner, what can I do to be a better partner in our relationship? No. Yes. No. No. I noticed a massive dip in that level of enthusiasm. Who has a husband, wife, girlfriend, or boyfriend at home, and you have not been asking that good partner, what can I do to be a better partner in our relationship? Hands in the air. Come on, hands up, you guilty people. Tell the truth. Up. Up with the hands. Now, I'm very confused. Who's more important? Those people at work that don't even know your name? Or that person at home that seems to love you on occasion? Who's more important?
Sir, do you ask questions
Who?
that will go through any number of
Wife. What's your first name?
Manoj.
Manoj. Manoj, you're going to go home tonight and talk to your wife. You're going to ask your wife a question. What can I, Manoj, do to be a better partner in our relationship? And your wife will ask you a question. Who have you been sleeping with? Well, you see, we don't ask this question, how can I be a better at work and at home?
Sir, this question may not be necessary because you are told any number of times how can you become a better person.
Yes. I didn't hear you, sir.
Sir, this question you would not ask to a person who tells you all the time how you can become a better person.
Oh, everyone, look up here. Look up here. What's your first name, sir? Now, you know what? I must be confused. I thought that said developing yourself as a leader and a partner. Look up here, my hosts. Hosts, look, hit those people in front. Now, I'm confused. I thought that says developing yourself as a leader and partner, and I thought I was here to help these people get better. I did not know this is a critique my wife program. So you just keep trying to fix Sue. Let's fix it.
Yeah. I'm trying to fix myself.
Very good, very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, and by the way, how about that critiquing your wife nonsense? Let's let go of that stuff. Yeah, letting go. Now get in the habit of asking a question. What is that question? How can I be better? It's good to do at work, even more important at home. When my daughter Kelly was 11 years old and my son Brian was 9 years old, I started asking my children a question. What can I do to be a better father? If it's worthwhile to say, what can I do to be a better boss or team member, what's even more important? What can I do to be a better father? The problem with asking the question is, you get the answer. My daughter Kelly was 11. She said, Daddy, you travel a lot. That is not what bothers me. What bothers me is the way you act when you come home. You talk on the phone, you watch sports, you don't spend much time with me. She said, once it was Saturday, and I wanted to go to a party at my friend's house, and Mommy didn't let me go to the party. I had to stay home and spend time with you. And then she said, you spent no time with me. That was not right. What could I say? Thank you. Daddy must do better. I said, I'm going to keep track of how many days I could spend at least 4 hours with my family. 1991, 92 days. 1992, 110. 1993, 131. 1994, 135. I made more money the year I spent 135 days, 4 hours with my family, than the year I spent 20 days. What did I learn? The San Diego Chargers, American football team, don't really care about me. It took me a while to figure that out. Now it's January 1, 1995. Both children are now teenagers. Daddy's proud. I have my charts. I said, kids, look, 135 days, 4 hours with Daddy. What goal this year? How about 150? They both said, no, Daddy, no, you have overachieved. My son said 50 is a much better target. They both voted for a massive cutback of Daddy. I learned a good lesson when you have children. When they're little, it's good to do this. Why? They need us. When they get older, it's important for a different reason. What is it? We need them. Do any of you have grown-up children? How fast did those years pass? Just like that. So good to do all these things at work, even better at home. I was teaching this class in a group of 1,000 people. A woman raised her hand and said, there's always something you have forgotten. She said, I've been to your class twice. I've read everything you've ever written. There's always something you've forgotten. She said, please ask people to do this with their parents. Please ask people to do this with their parents. She said, I went to your class and my daughter was 17 years old. And I asked my daughter, how can I be a better mother? We had such a nice talk. And she said, my daughter asked me, how can I be a better daughter? It was so nice. She said, I should call my mother. So I called my mother and I asked my mother, what can I do to be a better daughter? My mother said, Daddy is dead and I live alone in the country. And every day I take a long walk up the road to go to the mailbox. And almost every day there's nothing in my mailbox. And every day that makes me lonely. She said, as your mother, it would mean so much to me if you just send me a little picture or card or something. So when I would walk to the mailbox, I would find something in my mailbox. She started sending her mother little pictures and cards every day. What did that cost her? Nothing. What did that mean to her mother? Everything. She sent me an email a few years ago and it said, my mother just died. The last thing her mother told her before she died, thank you for doing that. If your parents are alive, this is a very nice thing to do for 3 reasons. Number one, it's good for them. Even if they say you have nothing to improve, they will be proud that you cared enough to ask. Number two, it's good for you. What is the number one regret children have? When Mommy and Daddy died, I did not thank them for all the nice things they did to help me. I was always judging them. And number three, if you have little children, this is very good for your little children. Why is this very good for your little children? You know the old people you're calling up on the phone? Guess what? You're going to become the old people. You want your little child calling you up on the phone? Your little child is not going to listen to what you say. Your little child is going to watch what you do. Our values are not what we say. Our values are what we do. Talk to your partner 20 seconds and answer this question. Who's one person you should be asking the question, how can I be better? And why is that important to you? Go! Talk to your partner. Talk to each other. Okay, stop. Step one in our model is ask for input. After we ask for input, the first thing we want to do is the last thing we should do. What's that? Ask for input, then express my opinion. If I ask you for input and immediately start talking, what does that sound like? Defensiveness, denial, rationalization, making excuses. Fight that urge to make excuses and just listen. The next thing is think. Before responding, breathe, think. Not just what am I going to say, how am I going to say it? And then thank people. And don't punish the messenger. Don't punish those people and try to tell us the truth. Would you agree with me? Punishing the messenger, bad idea. Agree. We have a lot of agreement here. We're going to practice that yes exercise again. Are we ready, sir? You didn't do well on the wife one, but I'm going to give you another chance. I hate to say it, but I'm predicting even worse scores for number 2. But we're going to try again. Is everybody ready? Same rules. I go like this, you say yes if that answer is yes. No, if it's no, you remain silent. Would you agree with me? Are your coworkers important?
Yes.
More enthusiasm. Are your coworkers important?
Yes.
Should we ask them for their good ideas?
Yes.
And listen to them?
Yes.
Encourage them to tell the truth?
Yes.
And would you agree with me that punishing the messenger, punishing those people who try to help us, that would be a very bad idea?
Yes.
A terrible idea?
Yes.
An awful idea?
Yes.
Am I in a room surrounded by hypocrites? Now you told me punishing the messenger was a bad idea. I heard it. Terrible idea. Awful idea. I'm now going to give you a case study in your own life. And someone gave you honest feedback. Maybe someone trying to help you. Maybe someone who loved you. Maybe someone trying to save your life. And we're going to say, did you say thank you to that nice person? Or did you yell at them and punish them for telling the truth? Are we ready for the case study? You have a hard day at work, a hard day. You go home. Your husband, wife, friend, or partner is there. You get in the car to go to the store. You're driving to the store. Lots of traffic. Cars are cutting in front of you. People are honking their horns. That person in the front seat goes, look out, there's a red light up ahead. Did you say, thank you? Or perhaps something that sounded more like, what do you mean there's a red light? Don't you think I can see? I know how to drive this car. Why don't you let me drive? How many of us have ever chosen Plan B? and yelled at that person in the front seat? Talk to your partner 20 seconds. Why did we yell at that person in the front seat instead of just saying thank you? Go, talk. Why are we yelling? Talk to each other. Okay, why did we yell at this person instead of saying that? Why did we yell? Why did you yell?
I yelled because I was also in a hurry and I had to rush for the next thing. I was also rushing in hurry.
Oh, you were in a hurry?
So,
You were under stress?
yes.
He was a victim of the terrible stress, you see. The poor man yelled because he was a victim of it. And it wasn't your fault, was it? Of course not.
No, not my fault.
Over here. Why do we yell at this? Stand up. Why do we yell at this person?
I thought that he's thinking that I'm a stupid person. I'm not able to see the red light.
Oh, the other person thought you were stupid. Then you yelled and screamed and acted like an idiot and proved they were correct. Why do we yell at this person? 2 words. Too much ego
Noida.
and too much pride. Now I have a question. Do we pay a price later for this prideful and egotistical outburst? Yes or no? A happy price or a sad price? Smart outburst or bad outburst? Too much ego and pride. I'm now going to give you 2 examples of ego, pride, and asking for input. A very negative and a positive. First, the negative. There's a great book called the Checklist Manifesto, published by Dr. Atul Gawande from Harvard Medical School. Have any of you read this book before? A wonderful book. By the way, Dr. Gawande is a really nice man. very humble man, very nice man. In his book, Dr. Gawande makes a fascinating point. If you go in for a surgery, and the nurse asks the doctor a series of very simple questions from a checklist before the surgery, the odds on unneeded infection plummet and the death rate is cut by 2/3. This is not a theory, a fact. The huge majority of hospitals around the world do not allow the nurse to ask the doctor the questions. What was the first question? Did you wash your hands? Why? Ego. According to Dr. Gawande, more people have died because of the egos of surgeons than died in the Vietnam War, the Afghan War, and the Iraqi War put together. And that's just in the United States. I don't know this, but I don't think India is any better. What do you think? Probably the same here. Probably the same. Too much ego. That's the negative. Now the positive. For 9 years, I trained the admirals in our fine United States Navy. I don't charge them any money, but they give me treats, little treats, presents. A few years ago, my treat, day in a nuclear submarine. Me and 8 other old men got to spend a whole day in a nuclear submarine, diving under the waters and pretending to torpedo things. Oh, so much fun. 2 years later, I got a better treat. Where did I get to go? Highway to the danger zone. Have any of you seen a movie before called Top Gun with Tom Cruise? Top Gun. I got to fly 95 minutes on a United States Navy Top Gun fighter jet. 6 Gs, oxygen, flying upside down, just doing tricks. And I'm very proud to say, I did not throw up. Now, oh, by the way, that was horrifying. Do all of you know what 6 Gs, you know what that is, right? That was horrifying. The pilot says, let's go up, up, 6 Gs. I'm going, up is bad, up is so bad. Then they stall the plane out. I realized something. There's one thing much worse than up. Down. 700 miles an hour straight down. You look out the window and here comes the earth right at your face. And my mind is going, you're not going to die, you're not going to die. My body's going, you're going to die. Well, before we took off, I noticed this young man is asking my host a series of very simple questions from a checklist. The first question for the doctor is, did you wash your hands? First question for the animal is, how much fuel did you have? I said, sir, this is puzzling. The doctor does not like the nurse asking the question because their ego is too big. I said, no offense, sir. No one has a bigger ego. The United States Navy Top Gun fighter jet pilot who becomes an admiral, you have the biggest ego in the world. Yet you do not mind this kid ask you the question. I said, sir, what is the difference? He said, Marshall, there's a huge difference. If the operation crashes, you die. If the plane crashes, I die. He said, if you put a gun to the doctor's head and said, if this patient dies of an unneeded infection, we're going to blow your brains out, they'd ask the questions twice. Well, how important is ego and pride? Every day we make it more important than our health, our safety, and the people we love. Get over this ego and pride nonsense. Life is a whole lot better for everybody. Ask, listen, think, that. Now the next thing is respond. Have any of you ever heard of the term before called 360-degree feedback? You've heard of this term. Yes, I'm a pioneer in the world of 360-degree feedback, a pioneer. I'm going to warn all of you in advance, it's not always good as you journey through life when people constantly refer to you as a pioneer. Pioneer is code for another word. What is that word? Old. Then it gets worse. They give you the dreaded Lifetime Achievement Award. I got 2 of those this week. Lifetime Achievement Award. What's that mean? Looks like he's about to die. Hurry up. Well, I don't know much about much. I know a whole lot about how to respond to feedback. If you ever get such feedback the rest of your life, or coach someone who does, do what I'm going to teach you right now. Let's pretend you're my coworker. Are we ready? Shake hands. I'd say, you don't have to get up. I'd say, Mr. Coworker, we're going through this feedback process. And the first thing I want to say is thanks to you and everybody who participated. I don't know who said what. Many people took the time to help me. I was so grateful to you. and Mr. Coworker, much of my feedback is positive, ethical, dedicated, hardworking, caring about the company, creative, and getting results. These are important values to me, and I hope it scored high bid. I say grateful I am. And don't say but, say and. Is something I'd like to improve. For example, I want to be a better listener. If I haven't listened to you and other people, I'm sorry. Please accept my apologies, no excuse. We all make mistakes, it's okay. When we make a mistake, just apologize. And by the way, as a leader, you want to blame somebody for your problems, who's the best person to blame? Blame ourselves. Don't blame other people. Blame ourselves. And don't ask for more feedback about the past. Ask for ideas for the future. Mr. Coworker, I'm not going to ask you for feedback about the past. I can't change it anyway. Feed forward. Give me ideas for the future to help me be a great listener. Whatever he says, sit there, shut up, listen, take notes, say thank you, don't judge. Never promise to do everything people say. Leadership's not a popularity contest. I say, Mr. Coworker, I can't promise to do everything you and everybody suggest. I'm going to listen to everybody, think of the ideas and do what I can. I can't change the past, I can change the future. You know what, I can't get better at everything, get better at one thing. If you don't mind, I'm going to involve you and follow up with you and ask you to help me get better. How much time did that take? Just a couple of minutes. Positive, simple, focused, fast. The next thing is involve those people, change, and the key to making everything I teach work is you have to follow up and stick with it. What does follow-up sound like? Mr. Coworker, 2 months ago I said I wanted to be a more positive and open-minded listener. Based on the last 2 months, give me ideas for the next 2 months. 4 months ago I said I wanted to be a positive and open-minded listener. Give me ideas. 6 months, 8 months. Now what happens if you follow this simple process? This is a study called Leadership as a Contact Sport. And I'll give you all the study that you can put on your website so everybody can read it who's interested. This is 86,000 participants from around the world, and they all got feedback. There is no country this didn't work. The best scores in the world are in Asia, by the way. There's no country this doesn't work. There's no industry this doesn't work, and there's no level of management this doesn't work. This stuff always works. In our research, every leader got multi-rater feedback. They were all asked to pick 1 or 2 things to improve and talk to people just like I talked to you. They're key stakeholders. And then we measured, did things go better with a mini survey? What did we learn? Well, people said my coworker did no follow-up. -3 to +3 scale, 0 is no change. Yeah, it looks a little bit better than random chance. If you understand statistics, a little better than a normal distribution curve. I've done something called a control group study. No training, no feedback, no nothing. The control group did that. These people might as well have been watching sitcoms as go to a training program and get feedback. Total waste of time. Table 2, little follow-up, a little better. Table 3, some follow-up, a lot better. Table 4, frequent follow-up, much better. Table 5, consistent or periodic follow-up, massive improvement. They all went to the same program. In most cases, it was taught by the same person, me. I got feedback on the same process at the same time. What did I learn? To quote my friend Alan Mulally, you get better, doesn't have much to do with me. It's got a lot to do with you. The stuff I just taught you today works. It doesn't kind of work or sort of work or a little bit work. It pretty much always works. It just doesn't work if you don't do it. And our challenge in life is not understanding it. The challenge in life is doing it. Now you're going to talk to your partner in 20 seconds, and you're going to come up with a good question for me. I'm going to wander around the room and say, what's your question? You have to have a question. Now if you ask me a question, I'm not an expert, I'll just say I'm not an expert. So by the way, no questions about Donald Trump, please. So if you ask me a question, I'm not an expert, I'm just going to say I'm not an expert. If you ask me a question, I have an idea, I'll give you my idea. This is feed forward. What if I give you a brilliant idea? What do you say back? What if I give you a stupid idea? What do you say back? You still say thank you. You don't have to do it anyway. I'll never know the difference. So whatever I say, you just say thank you. That way we get to talk to a lot of different people. Are we ready? 30 seconds, come up with a good question for me. Go. Talk to your partner. Come on. Talk. Come up with a good question. Okay, stop. Now remember, the question, everyone in the room needs to hear the question. So stand up. She has a question. For me. What's your question?
Sir, how do you manage traveling in different countries and teaching all the people with different backgrounds?
How do I manage doing all this stuff in different backgrounds? And a common question is, how do I get so much energy? Would you like to learn? Okay, I'm going to teach everybody How do I get so much energy? That's one of the most common questions I get. I get energy because I do a little chant every day. Chant. Do all of you know the term chant? A little Buddhist chant. Everyone look up here. Now, I'm going to teach you my chant. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, it's okay. Don't do it. Look up here. First, sit up straight. Sit on your chair straight. No, sit. Then imagine there's like a string here that's holding your head up straight back. Breathe. Do your hands like this. Breathing. Center yourself. Now I'm going to teach you my chant. Are you ready? The chant goes like this. It gives me lots of energy. There's no business like show business. So every day before I go to work, I give this chant. There's no business like show business. And I also use this with my clients. Sometimes these big CEOs whine and complain. Yeah. You know what I say? Yeah. Poor me. I only made $35 million last year. Yeah. I say, have you ever been to a Broadway play? Did you ever see that kid say, my foot hurts? No. My aunt died last week? No. Headache? No. Showtime. It's a good way to look at life. Showtime. Does that make sense? Very good question. Let's hear it for her. Yay! All right. What about you? You have a good question?
Well, I've also read a few things being taught by you talking about mojo.
Yes, mojo.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know, because the best thing I saw about you today is that the kind of complex things we have been teaching about does not carry any complexity in the ways that you teach. So how do you basically get back that mojo if you lose that?
Well, to me, I'm going to give you, especially for you young people who are very important, what matters in life. I'm going to share two of the most important things. Happiness and peace. And I'll talk about the difference. Happiness is the process of life. I love doing it. I enjoy it. I look forward to waking up. And if you love what you do, life is not work. Life is fun. Meaning is the results of what I do are important to me. And you need both. If you try to get happiness with no meaning, your life becomes empty. Playing bad golf with old men at the country club and eating chicken sandwiches, there's only so long you can do that. It's empty. On the other hand, if you give meaning with no happiness, you're a victim, a martyr. You never feel good either. So, two things at once. Simple. Does it make me happy, and is it meaningful for me? If the answer is yes and yes, you're going to have a good life. If the answer is no to either one of those, not so good. Let's hear it for him. Very good. Thank you. Okay, who's got a good question? Sir, you have a question? Question. Let's see, this guy looks like he has a question. Here.
This is the talk, this type of talk I am listening first time. It is very useful. But how to manage a team where all team members are coming to the meeting, listening, but there is no result coming out.
Well,
Can you explain?
Yeah. At the end of the day, remember, leadership's not a popularity contest. You're not here to win an award. You're here to get results. You have to get results as part of your job. And I'm going to share a great lesson that the wonderful Peter Drucker taught me. He said, every decision in life is made by the person who has the power to make the decision, make peace with that. Not the best person, the right person, a fair person, or a good person. Whoever has the power to make the decision is going to make the decision, make peace. Your mission in life is to make a positive difference, not to prove you're smart, not to prove you're right. If you do not have the power, and he has the power to make the decision, one word to describe him, customer. One word to describe you, salesperson. You don't have to buy, you have to sell. Sell what you can sell. You change what you can change. If you can sell it, you sell it. If you can't sell it, you make peace. The Gita, what do you learn from the Gita? What is. Do your best. That's all you can do. Do your best. On the other hand, let's say you do have the power. He reports to you. It's your decision. You say, I want you to do this and this. If he disagrees, you say, okay, I understand you disagree. You made a decision. Here it is. Here's what I want you to do. Here's how. Here's why. Here's when. If he says, you know, boss, I think you're wrong, you know what you can say? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm wrong. I made a decision. This is the decision I made. You don't have to insult him. You don't have to put him down. On the other hand, if you're the boss, you have to take responsibility. Let's hear it for a good question. Very good. Yay. Now, I have time to do one more thing. I'm going to now teach you something that takes 3 minutes a day, costs nothing, is going to help you get better at almost anything. Are you ready? Look into the eyes of your partner. Look into the eyes of your partner. Into the eyes of your partner. Look into the eyes. I want you to imagine your partner is going to call you up on the phone every day for the rest of your life. Every day for the rest of your life. Your partner is going to call you on the phone every day. Every day. The rest of your life. Every day. Now, I have a woman call me on the phone every day. Her name is Jasmine. She calls me every day. All she does is listen to me read questions I wrote every day and provide answers I wrote every day. Someone asked me, why do you do this? Don't you know the theory about how to change behavior? I wrote the theory about how to change behavior. That's why I do it. See, I know how hard it is. My name is Marshall Goldsmith. I got ranked #1 leadership thinker in the whole world, #1 coach in the whole world. I have a woman call me on the phone every day just to listen to me read questions and provide answers. Why? I'm too cowardly to do this by myself. I'm too undisciplined to do this by myself. I need help. And you know what? It's okay. We all need help. One thing I'm proud of in my book, Triggers, 27 major CEOs endorsed the book. 27. 30 years ago, no CEO would admit to having a coach. They'd have been ashamed to have had a coach. Today, my name is Alan. I'm CEO of the Year. I need help. My name is Jim Kim. I'm president of World Bank. I need help. My name is Mike Duke. I'm CEO of Walmart. I need help. We all need help. You know all that stuff you've been promising yourself you're going to do for 20 years, but you haven't got to it yet? You got a little bit of that back there? I'm going to help you. You're not going to do it next week. It's not going to get any better next week. We all need a little help, and it's okay. It's okay to admit we need help. Now, this is called the daily question process. Here's the way it works. You're going to get on a spreadsheet. On one column, you write down a series of questions which represent what's most important in your life. Friends, family, co-workers, health, whatever it is for you. Every question must be answered with yes, no, or a number. 7 boxes across. Fill it out every day. At the end of the week, the spreadsheet will give you a report card. I'm going to warn all of you in advance. The report card at the end of the week might not be quite as beautiful as a corporate values plaque you see stuck up on the wall. See, I've been doing this for years. When you do this every day, you know what you quickly learn? You learn that life is incredibly easy to talk, and life is incredibly difficult to live. You do this every day, you don't look at those talk values, those are beautiful. Look at those live values, not so pretty. Not so pretty. Now I'm going to share some of my questions. They're not intended to be yours, but by way of example, just give you something to think about. One of my questions every day is this: how many times yesterday did you try to prove that you were right when it was not worth it? I almost never got a 0 my whole life. Kind of hard for the old professor not to be right all the time. How about my young engineers back there? You ever try to be right just a little too much back there, my young engineers? Yeah. How many angry or destructive comments did you make about people yesterday? Well, we say we want to treat people with respect. Why are we stabbing them in the back? How many minutes did you walk? How many push-ups, sit-ups? How much did you weigh? Did you say or do something nice for your wife, or your son, your daughter, your grandchildren? Just questions about life. Well, this is a great process, and it's very hard to do. The average person quits within 2 weeks. Why do they quit? Not because it doesn't work. They quit because it does work. Anybody that tells me this is easy to do has never done it before. This is hard to do. Talk to your partner and answer this question. What's one question you should challenge yourself with every day? You say, here's one I should challenge myself with every day. Go back and forth until I say stop. Go! Talk to your partner. Talk. Did you work out? Okay, stop. Now, I'm now going to teach you what my daughter Kelly just taught me. This is called active questions. And I'm going to share my first 6 questions every day I test myself on with you. And I have a strong suggestion. Test yourself on these 6 questions every day. And these are called active questions, not passive. And they begin with the phrase, did I do my best to? Number 1, the first question, did I do my best today to set clear goals? Now let me tell you why it's good to ask, did I do my best? If you ask the question, do I have clear goals? We blame other people. No, I don't have clear goals because they're confused. If you ask, did I do my best to set clear goals? You can't blame somebody. By the way, if you look at the Gita, what's the essence of the Gita? Do your best. What is all you can do is do your best. Do your best. Did I do my best to set clear goals? Number 2, did I do my best to make progress toward achieving my goals? Number 3, did I do my best to be happy? Number 4, did I do my best to find meaning? Rather than saying, did the company give me meaning? Did I do my best to create meaning in my own life every day? Number 5, did I do my best to build positive relationships with other people today? Rather than waiting for them to build good relationships with me, did I build good relationships with them? And finally, did I do my best to be fully engaged? Rather than saying, did the company engage me? Did I do my best to engage myself? Now, our results on this have been pretty amazing. We do a 2-week study where people get an email every day. They have to be tested on these 6 questions, and then we measure what changed. 95 studies, 4,885 participants. 34% of the people who did this every day said, I got better at everything. All 6 went up. Why? Every day, it challenges you to say, did I do my best? 67% said I got better on at least 4. 91% said I got better on at least 1. 9% said no change. Less than 1% of the people said things got worse. Why? Every day these questions get me to focus on the one thing I have total control over. What is that one question? Did I do my best? Did I do my best? Now finally, I'm going to finish with my favorite coaching exercise in the world. Are we ready? Look up here. I want everybody to smile. Take a deep breath and go, ah. Now, I want you to imagine that you're 95 years old. 95! You're just getting ready to die. You're on that deathbed. Here comes your last breath. Right before you take that last breath, you're given a beautiful gift. The ability to go back in time. The ability to go back in time and talk to the person in this room. The ability to help this person be a better leader. Much more important, the ability to help this person have a better life. What advice would that wise 95-year-old you, who knows what mattered in life and what did not matter and what was important and what was not important, what advice would that wise old person have for the you that is sitting here right now? You don't have to say anything or do anything or write anything. Just answer that question in your mind. What advice would that old person have for you? Whatever you're thinking now, do that. In terms of a performance appraisal, that's the only one that's going to matter. That old person says you did the right thing. You did the right thing. That old person says you made a mistake. You made a mistake. You do not have to impress anyone else. Some friends of mine interviewed old folks who were dying, got to ask this question, what advice would you have? On the personal side, 3 themes. Theme number 1, 3 words. Be happy now. Be happy now. Not next week, not next month, not next year. Be happy now. The great Western disease is taking over the world. India, unfortunately, is pretty much gone. What is the great Western disease? I will be happy when. I will be happy when. When I get the money, the status, the BMW, the condominium, I will be happy when. We all have the same when. That old person looking at death, that is when. A learning point from old people, I got so busy chasing what I did not have, I could not see what I did have, and I had just about everything. Many of you, especially you young people in the back, you're among the luckiest people that ever lived. Many of you have friends, you have family, you have help. Compared to me, you have youth. You've got it all. Don't get so busy chasing what you don't have that you cannot see that. Learning point number 2, friends and family. You work for a wonderful company. I'm very proud to work for your company. When you're 95 years old, you look around at deathbed, none of your coworkers are waving goodbye. You start to realize these friends and family, these people are important. They're the only people here today. And learning point number 3, especially for you young people, if you have a dream, go for it. Because you don't go for it when you're 35, you may not when you're 55, you probably will not when you're 85. It doesn't have to be a big one. Go to New Zealand, speak Spanish, play a guitar. Other people think your dream is goofy. Who cares? Not their dream, it's your dream. Not their life, it's your life. I had a very embarrassing experience 2 years ago. I was teaching this class and I said, go to New Zealand, speak Spanish. The guy raised his hand, he goes, we're in Spain, you idiot. We all speak Spanish. Business advice isn't much different. Number 1, life is short, have fun. Number 2, do whatever you can do to help people. The main reason to help people has nothing to do with money or status or getting ahead. The main reason to help people is much deeper. The 95-year-old you will be very proud of you because you did, disappointed if you don't. And if you do not believe this is true, interview any CEO who is retired. I've interviewed very many, and ask them a question. Please tell me, what are you proud of? None told me how big their office was. All they talk about is people they talk to. Final advice also saying, go for it. Your industry's changing, your world's changing. Do what you think is right. You may not win, at least you tried. Old people, we almost never regret the risk we take and fail. We always regret the risk we fail to take. And finally, it's been my honor to work with all of you today. I very seldom get to work with so many young people, so that's a real treat for me. Hope you found our time together to be practical and useful, and hopefully help you have just a little bit better life. Thank you so much. Thank you.